Summer storms can cause a variety of problems, from loss of power to flooding to damage to your home. Jimmy Moss, safety coordinator at Virginia Farm Bureau Insurance, says your family and property can better survive a disaster situation if you prepare before it strikes.
In your disaster kit, you need the things that would be essential to carrying on your life at a minimum, and those things would be like food and water. Obviously, you want to use non-perishable foods. Check the dates on your water periodically and switch them out. Blankets, extra clothing, batteries, flashlights, a radio that can preferably pick up the weather service. If not, at least a local radio station.
Moss points out some less obvious items to consider storing, such as keeping cash on hand. Blankets can be used for comfort or warmth.
If you have special needs, if you have medications that you have to take, you want to make sure you have a couple of days worth of that medication stored away, or at least accessible for you. If you have pets, you want to consider some pet food for them. The gas grill is a good thing to have. Try to have some of the propane on hand because you can actually use the grill to cook. Something that people don't consider quite often, and we don't promote it as much as we should, is make copies of your insurance papers, any important documentation. Just make a quick copy of it so that if something happens to the originals, you have those and store those in your disaster kit as well.
If you lose power during a winter storm, Moss advises against alternative heating sources that use a gas like propane.
You want to be careful in the winter time with trying to use alternative heating sources such as kerosene heaters and wood stoves and things like that. If you're going to use those in an emergency, make sure you take the proper precautions beforehand. If there is a disaster, make sure you don't have a gas leak, such as propane or natural gas leak in your home before you start these things.
Not all disasters occur in the home. Your car should have the same kinds of items as a home disaster kit, with a few key differences.
Some additional things would be maybe some road flares or jumper cables, or the safety triangles that you see people using instead of flares, because the flares are obviously a fire hazard. Maybe some extra antifreeze, some motor oil. A gas can. It doesn't have to be full. At least have the can so that if you run out of gas, you can go get more.
Finally, Moss reminds everyone to change out the items in your disaster kit on a regular basis.
If you make a disaster kit once a year or every 6 months, preferably when you change your batteries in your smoke detector or when you change your clocks, you should go through that kit and exchange, pull the water out, put fresh water in, the food, medications, anything that may be perishable or may have an expiration date, switch those out. Put fresh batteries in that kit.
Don't forget to pack away comfort items like a deck of cards or board games to keep kids entertained. There may be a lot of idle time until it's safe to explore. Go to our website and learn more safety measures to help protect your family and property, as well as to learn more about the Farm Bureau Advantage.